here's an interesting bit of trivia. During the Second World War, when the Americans were fighting the Japanese, they had to set up bases on various islands in the Pacific. And some of those islands were actually inhabited by tribal people. Now, I want you to put yourself in the shoes of an indigenous members of those tribes. They weren't aware that people exist outside of the Great Sea, and now they have to notice the American military setting up shop. And it's not just that they're seeing people from an advanced technology. They're seeing people that have conquered the heavens. They're seeing cargo planes dropping medicine and food and supplies from the clouds into the American military bases. Now, the Americans, they were soldiers, they were humans like me and I. They understood that these tribal people aren't connected to the Japanese and they're not enemy combatants. They understood their awe, and so they were actually nice with them. They would open the cargo crates and share some of the food or share some of the jeans and the clothing that they had as extra, because they were nice people. And so when the Americans left, obviously they took their planes with them. And the tribal people were left dismayed because they didn't understand why the sky gods aren't returning. And so what they did is they tried to recreate some of the rituals that they saw the Americans perform in order to bring the planes back. They would clear parts of the jungle in order to create a landing strip. They would have a guy with 2 sticks trying to recreate the flares that the Marines used to have. They would try to recreate the planes from straws. So they didn't know what the combustion engine is. They didn't understand what a propeller is. They didn't know anything about aerodynamics. But they at least tried to recreate the way that the plane looks. They tried to recreate the way that the soldiers moved in order for the crates to start falling down from the heaven. Now, the fascinating part is that this is exactly what Western entertainment is doing nowadays. Disney, especially, they know that back in the day, when a comic book was released, it would cause awe. It would go around the world. People from Africa would know who Spider-Man is. They would at least have heard of Batman, just like the people from China, just like the people from Romania. A comic book was a cultural event. It wasn't just a product that you sell to make money. It moved hundreds of millions of people. And you'd release a comic book, and then you'd release merchandise, and it created a fandom. And so you end up with today where they know it's possible. They know that the magic of Disney is still there. They understand that it is possible to create art, but they don't know how. And so what they're a cargo cult of what has been. They can never recreate another Spider-Man. They can never make another Batman. And so what they are doing is they're taking the Spider-Man and they're just trying to make reimaginings, recreation of it, the same way that the cargo cult would take a plane and they would try to make a recreation of it from straw. But that straw thing, it would never fly. It would never take off. And so this is why you get stuff like this. You get in Variety magazine, where The Last of Us star Bella Ramsey claims that she would love to play Spider-Man and make a heist movie with Pedro Pascal. And the problem is that it's not a joke. Maybe she did mean it as a joke, but there's people on social media now that attack individuals like myself who are claiming that this is a bad idea. And obviously, I can bring arguments why it's a bad idea. It's because it models the brand, it confuses audience, and it's part of the culture war. What do I mean by this? Well, first and foremost, you must know the reception that Bella Ramsey got for playing in The Last of Us. It's all over social media. Everyone that actually has a smartphone and goes on the internet knows what people thought about her performance in that TV show. And so it's not really great, right? And for her, for you to suggest now that it's a good idea for her to put on a mask. The jokes go and ride themselves, right? But the second problem is it's in the name, right? It's in the brand. It's Spider-Man. But we are part of the ideology that everyone can be everything, right? Like a plane can actually be a pieces of straw, and we can all pretend that it flies, even though it obviously doesn't. And anyone that claims that that piece of straw can't fly, he's a heretic, right? He's against our cargo cult. I guess like the morality that they're trying to say here is, look how compassionate they are, right? Like everyone can be Spider-Man. Even if you're not a man, it doesn't matter. Like everyone could be Spider-Man. And so if this lady wants to be Spider-Man, then it's your obligation, it's your duty to spend $70 and go watch the movie. Like, even if you don't like it, you gotta shut up, you gotta pretend that you like it, and you gotta watch it to prove to the rest of the world that you're part of the cargo cult. Like, you too can believe that a straw plane can take off and fly into the sky. And so, the question is, like, when will this stop? Like, when will people, especially Disney, start to make planes that are flying again? What exactly will it take? Because unlike the cargo cult, you know, we didn't have other people coming in here and getting planes to fly for us. No, like we kicked out, we canceled the people that were making planes able to fly. We kicked them out of the industry. And we told them, it's like, no, you're not allowed to make planes like that, it's offensive. We're instead going to be part of an ideology that makes the straw plane and pretend that they're flying, because like everything can be a plane. Anyone that wants to fly should be able to fly. Why are you limiting them, you bigots? And so we told those people that they don't have a home in the industry anymore. But the reality is that they do. The reality is that not everyone can make a plane fly, and it's only those people that can. And I'm wondering, like, when will they be able to come back? When will Disney realize that there are other people besides Pedro Pascal? When they will realize that Spider-Man has been overdone? You know, you have lighting in the bottle, and now you're just mass-producing lighting rods. You need to change the business model. I also talked about how they want to bring Jack Sparrow back, and it was the same criticism. Like, the man is old. Leave him alone, you know? And Pedro Pascal is not the only man in the United States of America. Like, find another star, please. And Bella Ramsey as Spider-Man. Can you ask yourself, like, does the audience actually want that? Like, can you for once, before, like, even entertaining an idea, whether you're a producer or you're a fan or anyone, like, can you ask yourself, like, would other people actually want to go see that? Because if other people don't want to see that, it kills the brand, you know? People actually have a living to make out of these movies. It's not just the actors. There's, like, sound designers and camera crew and other people that require the industry to be healthy and to function. But like what you're doing is like you're vampires. You're sucking the blood. You're sucking the blood from this industry. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to mention this because I see, like, again, the conversation on Twitter, which is quite tiresome. Like, people pretend it's like, okay, so what is wrong with her playing as Spider-Man? Like, what is the problem? Well, I hope that after watching my video, you can understand what the problem is. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.